Welcome to LS311 Business Law Unit 7 Assignment, Tips and Suggestions for Setting Up Your Assignment. This is a preliminary review and research with regard to contracts, so this particular assignment tests your knowledge of contracts and the equitable remedy of specific performance. Reviewing what you know on contracts, as well as additional research on how auctions are conducted to establish the same, may be helpful to you. Your assignment instructions are as follows. Dear Paralegal, after you establish a contract exists as a result of the auctioning of the giraffe print dress, you may want to consider the following with regard to specific performance. You must have a contract in place. The remedy at law must not be adequate, hence damages alone will not provide relief to the party who is seeking specific performance. The remedy must be enforceable. If one party can bring the action for specific performance, so can the other if the positions were reversed. If there were any conditions to the contract, all were satisfied. Be sure to discuss defenses with regard to the contract. In other words, what will Candy or the auction house say in response to there being a contract? Here is a suggestion for structuring/formatting. The date, doublespace, to Lasagna, attorney at law, doublespace, from, insert your name, doublespace, referencing potential causes of action for breach of contract and specific performance. This is a suggestion for your introductory paragraph. It must be determined whether or not a contract existed between Pearl and Candy. You will then discuss the elements of contract formation, offer, acceptance, and consideration, and determine if a contract existed. Note that in order to discuss specific performance, you will need to establish that a contract did in fact exist. This is a sample paragraph for your second paragraph on specific performance. Discuss the necessary elements needed for specific performance: contract, adequacy of the remedy at law, enforceability, mutuality of remedy, conditions to the contract and whether they have been met, any defenses to the contract formation, such as mistake, duress, coercion, or fraud. Equity. There will be an undue hardship if specific performance is not granted. Do not just list these elements in establishing specific performance. Make sure that you weave the facts in with each of the elements in order to establish whether or not specific performance will be granted. You must have all of the elements. You cannot just have, like, for example, 2 out of the 6 or whatever. You must have all of them to grant specific performance. And your concluding paragraph, you're going to tie all of the above that you have written together into a conclusion, and it will be approximately 3 to 5 sentences in length. Once again, you will go through all of the bullets given on this particular slide, making sure that your formatting is correct, that you have an introduction, body, and conclusion, that it is 2 to 3 pages in length separate from your cover sheet and your reference page. Make sure your color of your font is black all throughout. If you happen to have blue and you want to remove the hyperlink, hover your mouse over it, right-click, and there will become a vertical drop-down menu which you will click on Remove Hyperlink. Avoid the use of first person, which is I, me, or my. Make sure that if you have a reference listed in your reference page, that it is also present within the body of your paper in the form of an in-text citation. Provide hanging indents in your reference page where needed. For those of you who may not be familiar with what a hanging indent is, if you have a reference that extends beyond 1 line, the subsequent lines will be indented by 5 spaces. Make sure that you double space throughout your entire submission. With respect to your reference page, make sure that you have double spaces between your references and within your reference. Also, make sure that you have done a grammar and spell check as well. If you have any further questions about this assignment, make sure that you contact your instructor of your course for further elaboration of what you may need. Good luck, everybody.